What's up guys, Josh here. Today I want to talk about a car that has gained a lot of attention within the past couple days and has been talked about from time to time a few years in the past. And that vehicle is made by Ford and surprisingly enough is an electric vehicle. Now this vehicle is called Ford Mustang Ev and surprisingly enough it's considered an SUV because of the crossover-y kind of look and things like that, so it's not really considered a car because of it. So yeah, and there are 5 different trims of this vehicle. There's the Select, which is the lowest bare bone base model you can get. It has 266 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. Now that right there is not too exciting, but other models have more horsepower and are more exciting. So then you got the Premium, which is, just the base, but more exciting features and things like that. More features that you can get ultimately. Then you got the California Route 1, which is like a nice cruisy kind of car. You can just relax and, enjoy the canyons and things like that. Or any type of, curvy road you can just go out and drive on and just enjoy it for what it is, not really go too crazy. Then you have the first edition, which is like the Platinum. It's kind of like the Ford Explorer Platinum. It's got the higher horsepower and the higher luxury features and just more to enjoy, more to get out of it. And then the most exciting for us car guys is the Mustang Ev GT. Now that vehicle has 480 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque. Now that right there, that really says something. That's the car that all the Mustang enthusiasts are going to be running to because of the higher horsepower and the torque and things like that. So they're not going to really be going after the first edition. They're going to be more so going after the GT unless they want the other features which other people would want. Give you at least a couple of my thoughts on how this car is going to turn out. I think this car is, despite what everybody says, about it not being an exciting model for Ford to come out with, especially the Mustang. I think in the end, once it's driven, once people, do reviews on it and test drives, I'd like to do a review. I'm going to try to get my hands on one if I can. Do pretty much what it takes to do that so I can reflect back on what I said and see if my views have changed based on what I thought. So I think, once this car gets its name out there, it is going to be a very popular Mustang. It's going to give people another option on what they want to drive, and it's just overall going to give them, another look in being sporty and looking aggressive, depending on what trim you get. And it's just overall going to be a good feeling to people who like crossovers. Now's their chance, if they like Ford and they want a good looking crossover, this is something to get. Well, anyway, speaking of what the car is about, it is an electric vehicle, so there's going to be no need to go get gas because really you can't get gas. So, I don't know if you can get gas, but I'm almost certain you can. So, it uses third-party chargers to charge up the battery. 240 volt charger can charge the car for each hour and give it 22 miles each hour. So it means as each hour goes by, you would have 22 more miles to the battery. So yeah, so DC, speaking of them, their charging stations can charge a car to a whopping 80% in just 38 minutes. I know most people are not going to want to wait that long or wait hours to charge their car because we're all so used to filling up our gas tanks within a minute or two or so max. And yeah, so I think they're going to improve the charging times and things like that as time goes along, and it's just going to improve like all technology. And I think once this vehicle's on the track and people see it, people see the results. By the way, speaking of track results, it's 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Now 3.5 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but I guess like if you're not used to 0 to 60 times, it's just going to take off like a rocket and just put you in the back of the seat. So and yeah, in today's world, 0 to 60 in 3.5 is going to start to be really nothing. It's not really going to be anything exciting in the long run. The car is probably going to 0 to 60 in like a split second. It's going to You're not even gonna know what the heck is even happening in the car once you floor it and things like that. So yeah, I think, speaking of the track, once people, see the track results, people are, going to want to try it out for themselves and see what it can do. Speaking of now the interior looks really gorgeous. You look on the inside, you got a steering wheel, then you have the touchscreen thing in the middle, which most Teslas have. Surprisingly enough, it's not saying anything about a self-driving feature, which would, kind of be bad if Ford rushed its self-driving feature and people end up crashing like they did with a lot of Teslas by being too reliant on them and things like that. So overall, like I said earlier, once this car gets his name out there, it's gonna be a hit. You just wait and see. It will be successful because of everything I just mentioned. Because depending on which model of the Mustang EV you get, it is gonna operate and drive to your liking. So I think that's what Ford is trying to get into the electric market, because Tesla and other cars are Chevy has the Volt, which is like a dual power car. You can either operate on electric or gas. So if you drive a Chevy Volt, you can save a little on gas, but you just crank up your electric bill. So yeah, so I think this car is gonna be big for all the reasons I just mentioned earlier, and I'm going to be eager to see how people react to it once it comes out. I was a little skeptical on, trying to look up the facts real quick on the car, and first didn't really seem too promising, but then once it sunk in my mind, it gave me a little more of another new perspective that I think this car is going to be the opposite of what everybody thinks now in terms of being successful, meaning it is going to be successful. And yeah, so, I just wanted to make a video talking a little bit about the car, because, I wanted to make it, get it while it's hot, like they say, make it while it's still the big thing, so boost the views up and things like that. So alright, that's it guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.